French fry maker when I was like in elementary school, and we'd always make fries, and it was the best thing in the world. They're actually kind of disgusting fries, though, looking back at it.
Dude, my fries are freaking good.
Really?
Put them in the air fryer. They're actually crispy.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to try them.
Yeah, because everyone, like, goes off. They're like, oh, my fries are so good. Like, all my fries. They're all soggy and nasty.
Yeah.
And mine are freaking good.
So do you season them, or is it just
yeah. You load them up with seasoning.
Oh, that's sick. So, like, what all do you put on it?
Put garlic, salt and pepper. And then this, like, Mark's seasoning stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like spicy Cajun kind of sauce stuff.
I feel like we're already going.
Oh, we are going.
We are?
We're going.
Nice. Like, I was like, we're just having this conversation like in the setting. I was like, I feel like we're already going.
We just spent the first 30 seconds of our podcast talking about potatoes.
I love potatoes.
I mean,
I'm not even from Idaho.
Supposedly Cooper's a pro fry maker. I've never even knew he made fries.
Dude, I am way good. I'm new to the fry game, but...
Yep.
Like, I'm coming out on top.
You have to put your money where your mouth is,
I'm
dog.
top of the fry game.
Like, if you went through, like, a well-marketed competition through Utah County and, like, everyone knew about it, everyone that makes fries, like, what would you put?
I'm
like,
top two easy.
Top two.
Who's above you?
I don't know.
There's someone.
Well, I might be one. I might be two.
But you're predicting.
But I'm not below one or two.
Well, now that we're a good minute and a half into this podcast, let's introduce our guest here today. Who's our guest today?
Oakland Goodsell.
A good seller. Because you're a sales girl. I did not expect that. Anyway, we got Oakland Goodsell. Good friend. Good salesman, I hear.
I'm trying to be.
Dude, one of my first, like, real times I was genuinely impressed with you as a human being.
Okay.
Don't take this as an insult because it wasn't until our senior year.
Oh.
And I've known you since freshman year.
Whoa. One of the first times, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, like, I was genuinely impressed. We shared a class together.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Bryn Air. Do you remember what class it was?
Wait, give me a second.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. Bryn, me, you, and Bryn. Was it a music appreciation?
It was. It was music appreciation.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this, Cooper, but this man knows everything. When I say I'm not exaggerating, everything about music. He knew more than the teacher, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, I'm kind of a music junkie. I really am. I don't know if that many people know that about me. But
No,
I think I heard rumors, like little things, just like little over here, little things over here. That Oakland's like. I thought it was just kind of rap. I thought you were knew a lot in the rap game.
Well, that year specifically, I'd gone on kind of like a grunge phase or like a rock and roll phase. So I was like learning a lot more about like rock, and it wasn't because of the class. It was just like I just like saw a picture of Kurt Cobain or something like this flannel, and I was like, I should listen to some of that shit. No, I'm kidding. But that year I'd been listening to a lot more rock. But yeah, mostly it's been like more like hip hop and like R&B throughout the rest of my life.
Yeah, like I kid you not, we're in this class and like the teacher would like say something very like general or generic, and then Oakland would just go off like not necessarily on a tangent, but like kind of wanting a specification, or like he would give a clarification. What I'm trying to say to the teacher,
smart ass.
Like the teacher would be teaching something, and then Oakland was like, "Well, actually, wasn't it like this, this, and this?" And I was like, "Dude, this guy is literally like just destroying this teacher whose profession is teaching about music." And I was just super impressed by that. And I mean, it was just like, where does that come from? Like, because like you're not only are you well versed in it, but like how do you how do you remember that stuff?
I think I have a good memory. Like I'm that way with like basketball and like statistics too. It's like kind of like I think some people like listen to a conversation, they'll be like, "Whoa, like how do you know what his shooting percentages?"
Right.
And stuff like that. And I don't know. I just like if I care about something, like I stick to like it sticks in my mind really well.
You're hyper obsessive.
Yeah, but I got like horrible grades. So that's
But it's not. But like you weren't interested in getting good grades, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't care, or did you care?
Yeah, no, I didn't care.
See, if you cared, you probably would have got straight A's because I feel like you're a hyper obsessive person.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think like that's something for a long time I was always like, oh, like I don't know. I was thinking about this today actually, but like I think that like one of my favorite quotes is a quote that I heard a couple months ago, and it's like be obsessed or be average. And for a while I was like, oh, like you look at somebody and you're like, oh, they're so into that thing, like that's weird. But like no, like you're either going to be obsessed with something or you're going to be average. You look at like Chyler, for example. Chyler loves the gym. He's obsessed with it. And he looks better than 99% of the population. Or like you guys, you love this podcast, you know? And some people might be like, oh, like why are they so into their podcast?
Yeah.
It's a good-ass podcast, you know?
No thanks.
You know what I'm saying? So, and not that I'm like great at basketball or super musical or anything, but I think that like that's something I've been thinking about, like how like good it is to be obsessed. Like you're going to either be obsessed with what you do and what you love, or you're going to be average at it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's something that I think about a lot. But you know what's funny about the music thing, like tying it back to that though?
What?
Is I got in a conversation today with my good friend Tyson Bishop. He Snapchatted me today.
Yeah.
And he was freaking out at me because he had remembered that I said Eminem wasn't a top 10 rapper of all time. So I got like 10 YouTube videos sent to me, and he was like, Kanye and Kendrick, all these rappers you like say he's the GOAT, but you don't think he is, and all this stuff. And we got in a good conversation about it.
So why is he not the GOAT? I'm not saying he is. I don't.
I'm a big Eminem fan.
You're a big
You
Eminem
are. Oh,
fan?
that's right. You are, huh? Yeah.
I'm like not that even into music.
Are you like Tyson Bishop level Eminem fan?
I'm not even like that level of
Like,
music
would
fan
you
in general,
would
but
you buzz your head and bleach it?
No.
Like your level.
But like I
You
listen to
listen to
Eminem
him
in the gym. Like he's
Oh,
probably
okay.
my favorite guy to listen to in the gym right now.
Yeah. So I think Eminem, from a technical standpoint, is one of the most skilled rappers of all time. I would probably have him in like my top 5. But the reason I don't have him in my top 10 is because from like a discography standpoint, where the quality of his overall albums, like their concepts, things like that, I think has been really weak. Outside of his first 3 are really great. Had a couple of decent, and then a couple of really horrible albums. And I like value consistency a lot, and like the concepts of the album, like a whole storyline, like the production. I think that he has like a couple weak points that really take him down, but just in terms of skill, like he's definitely up there. Like
Okay.
just like
So, and you're in like the things that you find valuable when it comes to music or rap. Who is the GOAT?
Kendrick's the GOAT for sure.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I don't think it's that close either.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got like a top 10, top 5 list or whatever, but like Kendrick's definitely the GOAT. I think I have Kanye number 2, like MF Doom. Andre 3000, and Danny Brown are my top 5.
Really?
You might not have even.
I
heard of a
don't
couple
even know
of
who
those
they are.
I'm sure you've heard of Kanye West before.
I heard he really likes Jews.
Yeah, I also. For anyone out there, I'm with Kanye on that one. I really like Jews as well. No, like actually, I do. Jewish people are good people.
Dude, freaking Adam Sandler. All the others.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Is Adam Sandler a Jew?
Yeah, I think so.
Ben Shapiro's a Jew.
Ben Shapiro,
I like
yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
I really liked him in high school. I'm not like as big on him, but I still like him.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy says he's a Jew.
Oh, that's right. Dave Portnoy's technically a Jew.
I feel like all these, like Ben Shapiro's like really like the only
one that
Jew.
wears the yarmulke.
Do you guys know
actually
Lex Fridman?
practices Jewish.
He's a podcaster. He's a Jew too. He interviewed Kanye. I was really impressed with him actually. The way he handled it. I was really impressed with him.
I know who Lex Friedman is.
Do you guys remember the Jew days though, like in junior high?
No.
Just call each other Jews.
Yeah. I thought you were saying like a Fiesta Days.
No,
Like 2 days.
And I was like, I definitely missed this.
I'm pretty sure that's only in upstate New York or something.
Yeah. No, for sure. And like Kyrie Irving, and he's pretty anti-Semite himself as well.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He got his Nike deal canceled because of it.
Oh, really?
Did you not hear about that?
No, I didn't hear
He
about
posted some video, and yeah.
Oh, I did hear about that, but
Yeah.
I feel like I could be wrong, but wasn't he somewhat justified when he was saying, like, he kind of got taken out of context? Or
Yeah,
not?
I think he was way more taken out of context than Kanye, because
Right.
Kanye tweeted and like hilarious tweet, and he was like, I'm a little sleepy today, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, and he goes, and then it's funny because I can't actually be anti-Semite because all black people are Jewish. Which I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but I mean, all I saw was that clip with him with Alex Jones. And so when Alex Jones tells you you're kind of being outlandish.
So Alex Jones was like, "No, you don't really
really
like Nazis." He's like, "No, I do."
He's like, no, you don't. So when you have Alex Jones saying you're taking it too far, you're taking it way too damn far.
Because Alex Jones takes it too far sometimes.
Sometimes.
I would say.
I just remember Kyrie. I saw all the stuff. He's like, I thought it was pretty funny. He's like he'd still wear his Nike shoes, but put tape over them and like write something on like "I'm free now" or something.
Yeah,
that's kind of dope though.
Kyrie Irving's kind of that guy though.
He is, isn't he?
I'm not a Kyrie fan, but
so here's the thing: basketball wise, I think that he's like pretty much like almost a perfect basketball player in terms of like for his size. Like he's so skilled. but I don't like that he's just not very consistent. Like, he doesn't always show up. But the main reason I like him right now is because he came out with this clothing brand after Nike canceled him, and I love it. I'm obsessed with like the sweatpants and the hoodies that he's got.
I mean, what is it?
It's just basically like, it's called Her Kai and I, which is, I don't know, kind of a weird name, but like, it's just, I don't know, it almost looks like symbols like from a different language. Like, you'd think it was like Middle Eastern language, like Arabic or something, and then it's just like across the sweats, and they're like baggy sweats, like tight on the bottom, though. They look really cool.
That's cool.
They're dope.
That's cool. Me and Cooper are not, I wouldn't say we're necessarily sweatpant connoisseurs, but like we have we agree very strongly on a pair of sweatpants that
he stole my sweatpants. That's what happened.
So, do you agree or do you not agree?
No, I agree. It's the best sweatpant I've ever wore.
So they're these Puma sweats from Costco. They're the old version. They've come out with some new versions since then, and they aren't as good. This is like a couple years old version of Puma sweatpants.
Okay.
But I have like 10 pairs. And
I think I
was
have
missing
those.
a gray pair.
I think I have those, and I don't wear them. If you guys want me to like bring some over, I think I have like 3 pairs.
Dude, if you don't want
They just have like the little Puma logo right here. And they don't have elastic on the bottom. They get like a little tighter.
Yeah, that's what I like. So there's no elastic, but
I've seen those. Those aren't the kind that I had, but I think I had like 1 pair like those. I know what you're talking about.
They're so
nice. Those are sick. Yeah.
Dude, Costco is the goat for that.
Yeah.
I was actually just at Costco.
Really?
I was driving home, and I was using my car and the windshield wipers just to clear off like the crap that was on the windshield.
Yeah.
And it just snapped off the windshield, the wiper. Literally snapped off, so I had to go to Costco and buy a new one. But
sometimes I feel like Costco might kind of be like a cult, though.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of a Ponzi scheme. I just think about Costco. I just think about Costco sometimes, and that's where I get to.
Dude, there's nowhere to get better yogurt for that price.
Yeah, but is it for that price, or are you paying the monthly subscription?
I don't pay it. I just use my dad's.
That's true. Somebody's paying it. Yeah,
but
I have no beef with I have no beef.
See,
with
I'm
Costco.
just confused on like how Costco started. Like, if someone like a brand new grocery store pops up and they're like, you could shop here, but you have to like pay a monthly subscription.
Well, it's
like,
smart.
Like
it's actually so smart. Like, I was kidding about the Ponzi scheme stuff. That's a genius business like idea or setup. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really smart.
Yeah, I mean, I love Costco.
But some people love Costco too much, though.
Yeah, that's true. And some people love Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a cult.
What?
I'm in a cult.
Which one?
It's called the Church of Jesus Christ.
Wow. So we're gonna go there.
No, just kidding, man. But I mean, Colts is a phrase thrown around a lot these days.
There are some people that love Colts, though.
There are.
That Warren Jeffs guy.
Warren Jeffs.
He likes Colts.
Yeah, I mean, Marilyn Manson, or what's his name? No, that's a rock star.
All like the sales bros, they kind of like Colts.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that in the podcast?
Yeah, I heard that.
What is your take on that?
I think more like people treat it like kind of like a sport is what I would say. Like I heard that though, and I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think people treat it like a sport, and
Right.
like I think people like the same thing you guys saw with the Moxie video. People
Right.
would say about football and be, you know what I'm saying, like football or baseball.
Right.
That's really what it is. I'd say more so that they just treat, and people do sometimes treat sports like a cult. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe both are. A cult.
I get that same vibe. It's like high school football, at least kind of, I guess in
Yeah.
our area, I kind of got that vibe too. They're like, especially during football season.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
It's like anything. It's like the gym. Like people can get super into like
Right.
sales or like, but like all those things you said, like I think they're so true. And I think there is a lot of people who are like they'll exaggerate what they make or like not like try to like explain it clearly. Like they'll talk about their revenue they did for the company.
Right. They'll just
and be
throw
like,
out numbers.
Yeah.
They'll throw out the highest number.
Yeah.
Whether it's the revenue or gross or whatever it may be, they'll throw out whatever the highest number is, and that's what they tell you how much they make, and that's what I hate.
Yeah, because it's like I could say like how much I did in revenue, and it would sound like I made
a
way
lot
more.
more,
Made
right.
way, but I could just say like I did 160K,
Right.
and it's like, and everyone's like, oh, you made $160,000? No, I didn't make $160,000. You know what I'm saying though? Like
Yeah, exactly.
But you could lead them on to think that, and I don't know if people do that necessarily, but they might. Like
Right.
if it was
a lot
said to
of
me,
people
I
I've
would.
talked to do that.
If it was said to me, I would understand that, but there's
Right.
definitely people who exaggerate how much they make and how much other people make.
Right, and I think that bugs me so much. And what was the funniest thing for me after saying that it was a cult, it was seeing the different reactions from different people.
Yeah.
You got people like you that thought it was funny or like whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was people that are actually in cults,
Yeah.
as in like their sales culture is more like a cult.
Yeah.
Cause like, and they got upset.
Really?
And they like, yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but they didn't. They
got
upset.
Which companies?
I'm not even gonna say.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say.
That's hilarious. Is it people that I would know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. We always joke that ours is like a cult though, because like my cousin Dawson owns the company.
Right. Yeah.
And then me and him and my buddy Ty Averett. Do you guys know Ty?
Yeah.
So he's our branch manager, and a couple of our sales guys all live in a house that Dawson owns.
Right.
And then we go to work with the business that he owns, and then it's like
we go to church together too.
Then we go to church together. We go to church together. Some of us, we've got some less active brothers in our house. That's pretty common with summer sales, people going inactive in the church. But
you staying strong, brother?
Staying strong, of course.
Awesome. Good
of course, I was there this Sunday.
Okay.
Taking the bread and the water, you know.
Dude,
I think I saw your story. I think you posted something from church.
Oh yeah. I did. I posted because Ty was teaching Sunday school.
I saw that too.
So I posted it, and I took it down because it was blurry. And then Ty texted me after, and he was like, "I'll actually read this because it was hilarious." But Ty was like, I sent the video to Ty, and he's like, "Is that what you put on your story?" And he goes, "Is that what you put on your story?" And I was like, "Yeah, I deleted it because it was blurry. I had a great caption." He goes, "Put it back. I want 19-year-olds to follow me." And Tyler's turning 27 in February.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Holy cow. He's getting up there, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's like, "I want 19-year-olds to follow me." And I went into the office, and sure enough, 2 19-year-olds have followed him on Instagram.
Are you serious? That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so
great.
funny.
He's a good-looking guy, though.
Yes,
you know?
Well, I think Leonardo DiCaprio's dating a 19-year-old again.
What?
Yeah.
He does this often, man.
He dates 19-year-olds?
He exclusively dates young kids, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think like that's all he dates.
Young kids. So do you guys think
I think he won't. I think he said something like he won't date anyone over 25.
So okay, so I have 2 thoughts. I'm gonna go with the first one about Leonardo DiCaprio, and then we're gonna go back to this. But I heard I was at a hot tub, and these people were having this conversation about which was harder, to be Stephen Curry or to be Leonardo DiCaprio. And when I heard that, I thought they were talking about Da Vinci. I was like, there's no way that you think that being Leonardo DiCaprio and having his job is nearly as hard as Steph Curry.
Right.
And when I thought it was Da Vinci, I was like, that's a tough one.
He didn't have indoor plumbing.
It's like it's pretty close. Like one of the greatest basketball players to ever live, or a guy that like made a bunch of crazy inventions and was a complete genius. Yeah, complete genius. So I was like, that one's pretty close. Probably Da Vinci? I don't know. And then I realized they were talking about DiCaprio, and I was like, I'm like with a bunch of retards right now. Like, I really am. But tying it back, do you guys know who Bradley Martin is?
Yeah.
So did you see the video of Bradley Martin when he slept with like an 18-year-old girl, and the mom of the 18-year-old girl goes and like rips into him?
No.
I didn't even know he did that.
Like he slept with this 18-year-old girl, and he's 32 or whatever, right?
Right.
And the mom comes in, and this is the video, and they like pull him out, like he was in some conference. They pull him downstairs, and she's just screaming at him and just being like, "You're disgusting." She's 18. She just graduated high school. She's a kid, and Bradley Martin's like, "This is what they pulled me downstairs for."
Dude, Bradley Martin's kind of a savage.
He's kind of that guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of that guy.
But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's weird, or do you think? Because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like it's legal. She's an adult, and it's like obviously it's a huge age difference, but I don't think that's like. I don't like if I was 32, I wouldn't be dating 18-year-olds, but like I don't think that he's like immoral for that necessarily.
I don't think it's like immoral. I don't think it's like immoral or
I
bad,
think that premarital sex is immoral. So
yeah.
so like that part, but I don't think like
in that sense,
I don't think it's immoral in the way that that he thinks it is.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird though.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty big age
I think it's
gap.
a little weird, but okay, so at what point is it like, do you think that's weird?
I personally think it's weird.
Personally
I think it's weird, but from like a world standpoint, like honestly, in today's world, it's like really not that weird, unfortunately.
Like I know people from our high school that have already had like a 9-8 year age difference in like in their marriages, you know, and I don't think that's like that big of a deal. You know?
I don't either. I mean, I think
I think at 12 that's a lot. Like a 12-year difference for a hookup, I think it's a little weird, but I don't think that he's like a bad person for that. You know what I'm saying? That's more my take.
No. Have you seen the videos of like him and like that? What's that guy's name? Steve Will Do It. Yeah. And like Steve Will Do It's like talk. They're like it's a skit, but it's like they set up really well so it kind of looks pretty real.
Yeah.
And it's like an intervention for Bradley Martin. Like they're doing an intervention for him, like calling
Shut
him
up.
on being like, I think it was for like steroids or using steroids or something.
Steroids and hooking up with gym girls.
And hooking up with gym girls.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it gets around the circle and it gets to the Steve will do it guy. Did you see? Have you seen this?
I don't think I've seen
And
it.
he's like, yeah, I was like, I grew up watching Brad. You know who Steve will do it is?
No, I don't.
He's
I've heard the name.
He's a
I don't.
frat boy. I think he's part of the Nelk Boys.
I've heard the name a lot, but if I've seen him,
I think if you look him up, you'll know.
I'll know who he is.
Yeah, he's kind of a gym bro. He's a pretty.
He just got kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, he just got kicked off YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate that stuff. The
Dude, me
censorship.
too.
It's the
Screw
dumbest thing.
censorship, honestly.
It's this guy. Is it?
Yeah, him.
I've never seen it.
Anyway, he's pretty funny. He like chugs a lot of beer and stuff. He's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it gets to him in the intervention. He's like, yeah, growing up, I looked up to Bradley Martin. I watched his videos, and he helped me get to where I am today. But then he like pretends like to start to cry, like it's kind of hard for him. He's like, but Brad, he sexually harasses me. He's like, he sexually harasses me. No, he touched me, and everyone's like freaking out. And they're calling Bradley as freaking. It's like just a disgusting. It's one of the funniest clips I think I've ever seen.
Oh, that's so. So, do you guys think Bradley Martin's a good person, or do you think he's kind of a bad guy?
I think I grew up watching it. I really did. In high school, I watched him a lot.
Really?
I think the biggest, as like my first video I saw of him, he was dumbbell benching barbells, 225 in each hand. And I was like, holy frick, this guy's an animal.
He's a big dude.
I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", too.
Yeah, like, and if you see him stand next to like Alex Eubank,
Yeah.
it's like crazy.
Right.
The
Well, I
difference.
think Alex Eubank's like really small.
Yeah.
He's like 5'9".
Yeah, for sure.
5'8".
But like, just like he's obviously got like a lot of mass on that frame, like Alex does, especially for somebody that's like not juicing at all. And you see the two stand next to each other, and it's like the difference is like crazy.
Right. So like, I think, like, I grew up watching him. I think he's I think he's a good person.
Yeah.
Like, especially I listen to his podcast too.
Yeah.
Raw Talk. And like one of the things he like kind of almost a theme. He talks a lot about his childhood with his dad because his dad killed himself.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And every single time he talks about his dad,
He like cries.
he starts to tear up and like gets a little emotional about it. So like to me, that kind of shows like, yeah, he is a real person. Yeah, he and I think Raw Talk. If you listen to why he started his brand Raw Gear, the Raw is like he like trying to be like upfront and vulnerable and like himself. Like I really think he's a pretty good person, especially in comparison to a lot of the people he's around.
I like Raw Gear too. I've got a sweatshirt from Raw
Really,
Gear.
I think that's some cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they had a 50% sell, up to 50% the other day. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
should I buy some? I was like, nah.
I really like some of the Young LA stuff.
Really? I don't like
really,
any of the Young LA
And then
stuff.
I wear a lot of bucked up shirts. The way I dress, like people probably think, like you would think I was in way better shape than I actually. Like I love that stuff though. I love like the bucked up shirts are really cool. Some of them, and like Young LA, I really like.
Does Bucked Up have any other shirts besides? I thought they just had like the one.
They've got a couple. I've got
that tank top too.
I've got 3 shirts from Bucked Up. I'll show you them after, but yeah, they're cool. They're cool. I'm wearing one of them right now.
Are you serious?
Actually,
Do you want to come to the gym with us after?
Yeah, sure. Of course, bud.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't think
It's cool.
What does it say? Buckedup.com?
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like it.
Yeah, and then it's got like some stuff on the back, but like it's just like a plain shirt, and then just like right here it says buckedup.com, and then yeah, so
I like
it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll go to gym with you guys. I'll probably get shown up. I'll be a little embarrassed after, but
We're gonna. Well, at least I'm benching today. Are you not benching today?
I might actually.
I'm gonna bench
Since
today.
I don't know if we'll be able to tomorrow. So
I got in the habit of going every day before the summer, and then like for some reason, like when I'm doing something like selling, like where it's like 50 hours a week, or like the mission where it's like more than that, I just can't do it. I just can't work out. You know what I'm saying? But like if I'm not, then I can go and work out every day. But I'm gonna try to like work out every day through this summer.
Oh, nice.
But like I just like have never been able to get myself to do it, so I just like got in way worse shape too, even over the summer. But,
Yeah.
are you going somewhere this summer to sell, or are you staying here?
So I'll be in San Antonio for March and April. So I'm gonna knock for 6 months, trying to have a really big year. Just start to like build my brand, be able to get a lot more kids to come like work with me after this year or two. And just because I love it, like for me, like it's more about the money. Like I really do just want to be the best. Like I would like not even check how much money I made. Like after the day, I would just be like, oh, like I sold like 5 today, I gotta sell 7 tomorrow. I sold 7, sell 7 the next day, I gotta sell 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like for me, it's just like more like a competitive thing. But yeah, I'm selling for 6 months, 2 months in San Antonio. In March and April, we're gonna go get like the branch started up down there, so that should be good. And then 4 months in Utah after that. And I might be back and forth between San Antonio and Utah a little bit, but all my guys, like all my recruits, will be here in Utah for the most part. So
nice.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. Well, where do you want to like? I know like a lot of these guys, like especially talking to a lot of sales brothers in Christ,
of course,
in the sales world. Talking to a lot of them, like yeah, they want to grind, and like dude, I respect the heck out of it, dude. Yeah. I think a lot of you guys that go out and grind, like, do I respect the culture a lot of time? Honestly, no. I think it's kind of cringy.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the individual, like going out there and grinding, I respect.
Yeah, totally.
But I talked to a lot of them, and I'm like, hey, like, what do you want to do? Are you going to do this for the next 5 years? Are you going to do this for the next 10 years? Are you going to do this until you have kids? Like, what's your goal? And so I'm like, where do you want to go? Like, where do you want this to project you to?
I'm going to do it until it doesn't make sense anymore. Like right now, I just don't see anything where I could like. Yeah. Or my income level could be the same if I did something else. Not to say that it's nothing crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like anyways, but I just don't think I could. Right. And I love it too. Yeah. Like I really do. Like I think most people even that I talk to in the industry, like they don't like. They're like, I don't like the knocking doors part, but they like kind of like the community. Like I actually love it. It's like a sport, you know. Like like there's a high to it. There really is for me at least, and for some of the guys. I think I want to do it. So my cousin, he kind of went on a projectile where he was one of the best in the industry, and he was a millionaire by 23, which isn't like super common, like for anyone, let alone like sales. It's not super common, but he was really, really great at what he did, and he got a team under him, and he made some really good money selling for his uncle. And after that, and like the next year after that, he got to a point where his passive income was to a point where he didn't really like. He could live off of that. Is all I'll say. And I would like to get to that point, and then I think that after that, I'm kind of still in this idea from him too. I would like everything in my life to be like high school, like 4 years, then on to the next thing. I don't want to do anything forever. One of my dreams is to do like a podcast, kind of like you guys are doing this. So after I'm set, which however long that takes, probably will take a little bit longer than did for him, but I'm going to try my best, and I want to be like one of the best guys in the industry, so it'll come quicker if I hit my goals. But I want to, after that, I want to do a lot of things. Like I want to hyper focus on everything I do for 4 years and then go on to the next thing.
Interesting.
I'd like to like start a business and sell it at some point is one goal I have. I want to write a book at some point. I want to do a podcast. I think it'd be cool to like open a restaurant, not even for money, just like a little mom and pop like restaurant just for fun. I want to start like a clothing brand at one time. I think would be cool. There's a lot of things that I want to do, but I don't want to do anything forever. So I just want to get to the point where I'm like stable, like financially, and then just like invest my money, have some passive income coming in, and then just do whatever I want from there. Just 4 years on to the next thing, or however long it is. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 years, but.
Is there something you have in mind that's like just the next after this that you like want to do more than these other ones? Or
no, I think I'm just kind of living in the moment right now with this one. I love what I'm doing right now. I want to just keep doing it. And I think one of my favorite things about it is you can really help other people too. It's like you go and you manage, and obviously you make money off of the guys that you recruit, but you are able to help them make more money a lot of times than they've ever made before. So, and this will be my first year managing, so I'm excited for that.
That'll be cool.
And I think there's so much I love about this right now that I just don't really like. I'm not really thinking about the next thing yet. But
and there's no need to. It's not like, you're not in a hurry to get to somewhere else.
For sure, because I'll do this for at least probably 5 more years or so.
Right.
Or maybe more.
What's one of my problems is like, sometimes I feel like I spread myself too thin, where I put like all my eggs in different baskets, but I don't have enough eggs. That makes sense. Yeah. So I think that's smart, just like keeping it focused, and that's good. And
I think like one thing I always hear too, like in podcasts I listen to, is that like the world like rewards like specialists. Like if you can really just like dial in, then like you'll get really good at that thing. So that's kind of why I'm just like mostly focusing on this.
Do you want to like stay in Utah with this, or like you've been to Texas, a couple other places?
I think this will be my last Utah year. If I were to guess, this will be my last year selling in Utah, but.
for recruiting, like this is the main market, obviously, with return missionaries. So and Utah's my favorite place in the world. I want to live here.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, during the summer I'll be other places.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool, man.
So that's kind of the goal.
I know. I've always kind of noticed that in you, I guess.
Yeah.
To say, just growing up. Remember, like one of my first memories of you is, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Miss Davis's computer class.
Yeah, I do.
I think that was the first time I like actually like bonded with you. Like I didn't really know who you were.
Yeah.
Just like little 7th graders.
Yeah.
And good old remember Get Wrecked Gents.
Oh, of course.
Oh my god.
I was actually thinking about that. I was like, we should have a special guest on this episode.
Dude.
And bring Jen Stieber in.
Oh my
Maybe we need to do
gosh.
that. Maybe we need to do that another time.
Let's do it. That'd be so fun.
And we could make amends.
Let's
I was
do
going-
it.
That's like.
Go for it.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that's the first memory though. Is when
Yeah.
he tried to beat me with his penny board.
When he did? Or I did? He
Miss
did.
Davis.
Oh.
We were in Miss Davis and Gents. Me and you
Yeah,
were like.
I
making fun of him or
remember that.
something,
Oh my
and he was
gosh.
swinging his penny board on me.
Oh my gosh. But
he swung it on me too.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I just had that memory because
We were in the locker room and Jake and it was like me and you and he was pissed at us and he was going to swing his penny board at us.
Yeah.
And Jake Lyman was there and Jake back then at least was like the biggest baddest thing in Salem Junior High, you know. Jake like stood up and he was buddies with us so he like kind of helped us out.
Yeah.
But dude, like yeah.
So you got swung on with the penny board.
I think we both did.
Yeah,
And
we
you
both
got
did. It was
swung
twice
on.
and yeah, like you were there the second time. I don't think he was swinging on you.
No, it wasn't me. It was definitely you.
But it's like you were being just as big of an ass.
I was too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think me and you
Me and you started it.
started the Get Wrecked
You
Gents.
you started it though specifically. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Like as I said once, I said, "Oh, Get Wrecked Gents."
No, you said it to me first.
Oh,
This is
okay.
how it went. We were in the outfield playing kickball.
Right.
And he like messed up and you were like, "Get right, Jones." To me. And I was like, huh, that kind of has a ring to it. We start saying a lot. Every time he messes up, we start yelling, "Get wrecked, Gents! Get wrecked!" and then everybody starts doing it. And he must have been messing up a lot. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't see this.
I hope he does.
He must have been messing up a lot because every time everyone was like, "Get wrecked, Gents!" and then the whole class starts doing it. We're all yelling, "Get wrecked, Gents!" every time he does anything. And then he comes into the locker room with his like his longboard. And he's like swinging it at me, and Jake's like holding him off.
Yeah, I remember this.
Well, I think literally ours was it was like a keyboarding class.
Yeah.
And me and you sat next to each other, like right behind him.
Yeah.
And literally every time he'd mess up on the keyboard, because we'd do that like stupid app, you'd have to type the word, and every time he'd mess up, we'd just be like, "Get right, Gents." Like through the computers at it.
Well,
He was getting
that's
so
the thing
pissed.
that's the thing about the story for like the viewers is it became like a school-wide thing after this day playing kickball.
Right.
Like everybody was saying it to him. Like Tom Wilson got sent to the principal's office. I got sent to the principal's office. And it was it caused some havoc for sure.
That poor kid. We probably traumatized him.
Well, he transferred schools
He did.
because of us.
Yeah, there's a good chance it literally was because of
No
us.
way, he told me senior
Oh
year.
man, he told you?
He was like, it was because of you and Creighton Basham.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
I don't know if he was exaggerating or not.
Oh.
And it's like, it was just like good fun. Like, I don't think it was like real bullying.
Right.
I
Not like
think-
the kind you see in like the slideshows.
I think
No.
he low-key kind of liked it.
Yeah, oh, he liked
liked
the attention for sure. I remember there was one time in Mendy's class where were you in this? I think you were in this class.
I was.
And everyone was saying it because he was messing up a lot, like with the answers. Everyone was saying it, and she's like, next person at first she thought it was funny. Mendy thought it was
She
hilarious,
did, yeah.
and then she got pissed,
Yeah.
and then she's like, next person to say it's getting sent to the principal's office. And this is when I got sent. And he said something. He gave a wrong answer. Like he raised his hand. The whole class was silent, and he said an answer. And Mendy's like, no, like it's this. And then there's like this silence.
You had to say
And
it.
everyone's looking around. We're all just like busting up. And I stand up, I say it, and I walked out. I walked to the principal's
I
office.
remember that. That was so freaking awesome.
We were little rebels in junior high. I remember a different time. I don't know if either of you were here, but we were like in like the study period. There was like 7th period was like study period, and like somebody got kicked out of like the lab, and then I'm trying to remember who it was. It was like Nick Adamson, and it was Nick, and he got kicked out, and I was like, if you're kicking him out, you're kicking me out. And then like 7 other kids said the same thing and followed. Like half the lab left.
I just remember you'd always get popsicle sticks for me and Porter to get into Olympic time. sticks. Olympic time, they used to give us the popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Like, because they only would allow so many kids in there, and they'd write a number on there.
Yeah.
And then hand them out.
Yeah.
And me and Porter found a big stack of popsicle sticks in like Boyer's class or something.
Yeah.
And we just wrote random numbers on there, and we'd like hand them out to kids to
Oh,
like give them in Olympic time.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember we'd fudge your. Might have been you. I can't remember who it was. We'd like somehow figured out how to like scratch off the grades on the report cards.
Yeah.
Like change them to an A because they wouldn't let you in if you had like D's or F's.
Yeah, it's probably me. That sounds like something that we would have done.
Do you remember when I was ninth grade basketball and I was the manager?
Yes.
And I was supposed to be filming the team.
Yes.
But I like kept filming the coach when he'd get pissed, and I'd zoom up on his face.
Yes! And we'd be watching film. And then he was already pissed because we sucked.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like shaking, like his face would go like blood boil red.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, Creighton!
And I wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Like you weren't at, like when we watched film, you weren't there.
No.
And he would just be like so mad. He'd literally be shaking. He'd just be like, Creighton?
Every time on the side, I would be supposed to fill in a team, then I could just notice he was getting angry,
dude.
so I'd turn to him and zoom up on his face.
Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. Oh, yeah. I felt bad because the Spartans had won the district championship 4 years in a row. Every year the school had existed.
Right, yeah.
And then we put that down the toilet for him. And I think that was his last year coaching.
Well, I'm just like confused. Like, how do you cut people like Tom Wilson from playing on the team?
Oh, crazy.
Like, how does that
Crazy.
work?
So Tom was way better than me.
I would argue that Tom was better than everyone on that team.
He wasn't better than Tristan and Blake.
Okay, he definitely wasn't better than Tristan.
And
Possibly Blake.
if Blake was healthy, he wouldn't have been. But I think with Blake having his hamstring issues, he wasn't.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the thing is, Tom was really talented. Like, he was really, like, skilled. Like, I thought that he was going to start. I really did. But the thing, I don't think, like, he had, like, a super, super high basketball IQ, but it was ridiculous that he got cut. Like, I think that was, like, the one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, if basketball wasn't his first sport and you're 15 years old, he's going to learn that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and his little brother, I think, is, like, an awesome basketball player.
He's a really good basketball player.
Is what I hear.
Yeah.
He's going to be a varsity starter eventually. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy that Tom got cut with how big and how athletic and he could shoot and he could handle the ball.
Well, if you've seen Tom play basketball now, he's a stud. Like, he's a good basketball player.
Yeah, and
He's just good at everything.
Didn't Mount Nebo win it that year too?
I think so.
I think they did.
Yeah,
and we knew some of the Mount Evo guys, didn't we? We knew some.
sure did.
Yeah. Well, that was a good time. I haven't thought about junior high this much.
I haven't
Probably since junior high.
The scrawny buckets, man.
Scrawny buckets, though. I knew that would come up. At some
Scrawny
point.
buckets. Still call you Scrawny Buckets?
Like if I see Creighton or Jace or Zeke, they'll just call me Scrawn. Yeah. Scrawn for sure.
I just remember how hyped it'd get, like, going to the freshman games, and every time you'd get in, like, everyone would
I would play for,
crazy.
like, 2 minutes max, and everyone's, like, holding up posters.
Oh my
wearing
God.
T-shirts. Oh,
Everyone's Scrawny!
it's great.
You were for the people, man. You were for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good
That was my
times.
20 minutes of fame right there. Wow.
Oh my gosh. So, Oakland, let me ask you this question
Yeah.
here. Is our world screwed?
I'm an optimist.
Okay.
I really am. So I'm like as conservative as you'll find them, right? But I always look at like the good things. You know, like I see a life right now where I can have like good relationships with people and where I can like go out and get what I want. You know, like I can like get in what I put out.
Right.
I can get in.
You can get
what you
Good.
put in.
I can get
Okay,
out
why
what
are
I
you
put in.
confusing?
I can get out what I put in to life, you know. And I think that like there's a lot of things like I just love about this country and that I love about the world right now. But at the same time, there's a lot of things I don't like, obviously. But I mostly think about the good things, you know.
Nice.
I mostly try to think about like the good things, but obviously like with some like the other stuff, the left wing stuff isn't
What do
my
you think
favorite.
about the Chinese spy balloon?
I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard
about
No.
the spy balloon, man?
What's the spy balloon?
China had like launched like a balloon. It was like a big balloon with a bunch of like surveillance stuff on it.
Wow.
And it came in Alaska somewhere, I think. Like went across Canada, then popped out in Montana, and went all the way across the U.S. Then they shot it down over the ocean.
But they
no
were
way.
like they wouldn't shoot it down for the longest time though.
Because they were afraid of like, yeah, it was dumb. They should have shot it down. But They said it was like a safety hat.
Yeah, what did they think it was gonna do?
It's a balloon. I think there was some stuff on it, but
or there was like cameras and stuff.
yeah, there
don't
was
know.
cameras and like the big, like it looked like a space station.
It was a big surveillance balloon. They
Yeah.
said. And it was China.
That's crazy.
China sent it.
No, that's concerning for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Did you see the thing China said after they shot it down? I guess China came out and was like, "Oh, like I don't see why that's a big deal. Like we float those everything. Next time something like that happens, the U.S. does something like that, we're going to use the same force they did."
Yeah,
So it's kinda
absolutely.
But
Wow.
it's China, so who the
Wow.
fuck knows?
No, I didn't know that.
Screw China, dude.
Yeah,
I
screw
hate China.
Screw that country.
Dude.
For sure.
Frickin' frick of them, dude. Bring
Trying
it
to
on.
spy on us over here.
There's at least one Chinese guy I like though. This guy named Chen Ho Choi from My Mission.
Oh!
That was a good ass dude.
I thought you
You're gonna say like Jackie
Is he
Chan
from
or
like
something.
mainland China though, or like Hong Kong?
He's from Hong Kong.
See, I think Hong Kong hates China.
Yeah, I think they do too.
Yeah, they
I don't think
like
Hong
China.
Kong would be a very good place to live.
Jace Dyke's dad served there. Hong
Really?
Kong.
Yeah, Hong
Yeah.
Kong like has beef with China.
I didn't know that. Eric
They
said
always
that.
have
That's
like
cool.
they're always having.
Do
like,
they have
protests and stuff.
Kung Pao chicken beef?
I don't.
But my thing, like back to your question you asked a second ago, but I'm definitely not a fence sitter either. Like I'll give my opinion on anything, you know what I'm saying? I just generally don't think about like, I don't like worry too much. I think that if I started to have kids though, I would worry more.
You'd worry more.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
But like I think like for the most part, like I feel pretty good about
Good.
life and where things are going, and like I think that like there's always been bad things, you know,
Yeah.
and like I think that obviously we all believe in Jesus and Him coming again, and I think
Amen,
it's coming
brother.
closer to that, you know. So things are gonna be crazy, but everything evens out, you know. Everything
Yeah.
always evens out, especially for guys like us.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like in this, like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people they'll kind of throw themselves a little pity party in a
Yeah.
sense, like oh, like it's so much harder to like make money nowadays, or even people in other countries, like oh,
Yeah.
it's so much harder. Like I'd have so many more opportunities, like
Yeah.
if I was in the U.S. I'm like not saying that's not the case,
Yeah.
but I think it's definitely like what you make of it. Like,
Yeah, the
no
grass
matter
is
where you
always
are,
greener, right?
Yeah, no matter where you are, like what your situation is, like there's people that have come out of like the worst of situations. It's
Oh,
just
for sure.
kind of how you look at it and
For sure.
the drive you have behind it.
And I hate it when people victimize themselves. Like it's
Yes.
one of my least favorite things. Like I hate it when people victimize themselves. Like unless they actually are a victim, obviously. But like I think that a lot of people try to make them the victim in every situation.
Dude.
They're like, I was born in Utah and I'm an American and
Yeah.
like how horrible is my life because
Right.
of that? And I'm like,
You know what?
wow, like
You know, like people like that, you know, like these, like a lot of members, not all, but a lot of members of like the LG community, LGBTQ, whatever.
that one.
Like that community, like pretty much liberals.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of people like the liberal side, like these, if they think they're victimized, I want them to go read a story from our church. I want them to read about Hans Mill. Okay. If you read about Hans Mill, I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Lincoln Hypothesis.
Yeah.
And it's just talking about Hans Mill right now. Well, there's a story about two young kids. I think they're 7 and 9 years old. Okay, many people died in this because they're being persecuted for what they
Yeah.
believe. Right.
Yeah.
This book basically talks about the Constitution, how it's supposed to protect your whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Protect like human rights, basically.
Yeah.
But back in up to the 1800s, the states didn't necessarily have to uphold the Constitution. So that's the 14th and the 15th or amendment or something
Yeah.
like that. Makes it so states have to uphold the Constitution. Anyway, so Missouri, you know the Mormon Extermination Act.
Yeah.
Right? So Missouri basically is telling these mobs, hey, go kill the Mormons. Go to Hans Mill and kill these people. So these two young kids, this is just an example, get killed. Like, go hide in this shop. They get dragged out by their feet by these two people that wanted to kill all these Mormons because it was state sponsored and because they hated Mormons.
Yeah.
Right? And they were shot, literally point blank, killed. And one of the kids,
members were?
Yeah, the 7 and the 9-year-old were shot. Right? You have never read about Hans Mill before? Okay, that's my homework for you tonight. Is go research about Hans Mill. What? Like I don't want to be throwing out numbers, but there's a like exceptionally large amount of Mormons were killed in Hans Mill.
It was like over 100.
It was over 100 people were just killed.
I've
because
never heard that
It was
before.
a state-sponsored
Wow.
thing by Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
So if I'm serious, if you think you are victimized in today's world, go search Hans Mill or like Hans Mill Mormon Extermination Act on the
Yeah.
on the internet. And I'll tell you what, you are not victimized. You need to grow the freak up.
Yeah.
The kid, his last words before he got shot point blank, he was 7 or 9, before he got shot point blank by a grown man, his last words was, "I'm an American boy."
Wow.
Boom. Yeah.
That makes me sick.
Yeah. Go read about Hans Mill. It's
I'll read
nuts.
about it.
It's nuts.
Oh, that makes me completely sick to my stomach. You know, in my mission, so I served for everyone that doesn't know, like I served in Alberta, Canada.
Canada boys.
Both of and Cooper served in Canada as well. But there's a city called Lethbridge. You probably haven't heard of it. You probably have. I would assume you've heard of Lethbridge. I served there. It was my first area. And in Lethbridge, it was illegal. Like it was, so you couldn't kill them, I don't think. I could be wrong. It was something like that, but it was a similar thing. Like you couldn't live there in Lethbridge if you were like a Mormon.
Really, I didn't know that.
So then, like all of like the pioneers settled like 30 minutes from there, and there's like this little town, so it's like 4,000, 5,000 people that have like 90% members. But in Lethbridge, Alberta, there's a lot of members there now actually, but it was illegal to live there if you remember.
Gotcha.
Which is interesting.
Freak. I did not know that.
That's what like pisses me off about like a lot of, I guess, just liberals, like people that like were discriminated against in the past, like slavery, Native Americans.
It's like the same thing happened to us, and we don't bitch about it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like they saying they want reparations for like, oh, like you should pay us because like our freaking great grandfather was like a slave or whatever. Which is like our ancestors were the same way, right? They were just killing them in Missouri for no reason, just for what they believed in.
Killing them in Missouri, burning our places of worship down, burning our homes down,
like running them out of the state, and like, I want reparations then.
Yeah, where's my reparations?
Yeah. For sure.
If they're saying they're going to give reparations to all these, and like, oh, you need to pay us for this, like, where are ours then?
Yeah, like these are like
everyone's gone through that.
Our direct ancestors, like 3-4 generations ago.
No,
direct, like great grandparents.
Yeah.
These are the lives they're living.
Oh, totally.
Running from the mob because of a state-sponsored event to kill the Mormons, to kill us.
And how often do we talk about it even? Like to complain. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We don't complain about it. We don't complain
you know
about
what we do about it? We talk about it to remember like our ancestors, right? And to like maybe even learn from like stuff like that. But we don't sit here and bitch about it.
Oh,
dude.
not at all. Not at all, dude. And that's the thing too. Like, oh yeah, that's why it drives me nuts when people like go off about like how they're victims or how they were born into like terrible circumstances because of this and that. And like discrimination and hate like is never like okay, obviously, but if it was like generations ago, I just don't think you should ever just like use it as a crutch.
No.
Like I think you should always like look at it with a growth mindset. And, like, what can I do with what I've been given? It's like the parable of the talents, like what Jesus talks about. Like, maybe you were given 1 talent, maybe you were given 10, maybe you were given 100. But it doesn't matter if the guy that goes in with 100 talents comes back with 2 or 5 or 10. Like, that's way, like, if he comes back with 10, that's way worse than if the guy that only was given 1 comes back with 2. And you're never going to do that if you've got a fixed mindset and if you're focusing on the fact that, like, wow, like all this happened to me and like all this happened to the people in my past and my ancestors.
Right. And I think it just the whole victim thing, like you could totally see out like people like for us, like more like our ancestors had the same thing happen to them as like we'll just use like the natives example, like them getting kicked off their land or whatever. Like I'm not saying it's the same, but like kind of similar.
And you know the natives are treated like way more so that way like in Canada than they are in even the United States. They don't love their native people like the citizens, but the government in Canada, they love their native people. Those people are living 6-figure incomes, without even doing a thing because they don't make 6 figures, but their housing's paid for, their food's paid for, and they get money on top of it. And if they want to go to college, their college is paid for, but they don't get. They don't go to college because there's no need to.
Dude, I know this. Trust me. My dad has 2 adopted Indian siblings from the Ute tribe. So
cool.
His brother and sister are from the Ute tribe. Well, they were. They're dead now because they drank themselves to death.
Wow.
Don't feel sorry. It's fine. Well, freak. Maybe it is kind of sad that that happened. I should say. Like, that's going to get a lot of people mad at me if I'm not careful.
Maybe blur that part
Okay,
out.
well, no, it's okay. I'll leave it in. But I mean, if they brought it upon themselves. But
Yeah.
I say that for a reason. Because, well, here's the thing. My aunt and uncle,
Yeah.
I mean, they're growing up there. I was a lot closer to them. But because of their decisions to drink and drugs, and it really separated us. But why I'm saying this, they get checks every month.
Yeah.
For like pretty good, like you could live off these checks.
Yeah.
Get checks every month. At my aunt and uncle's 18th birthday, they both I think got over $60K.
Yeah.
In the mail. Like
wow.
They get free tuition at the University of Utah because they're Utes. They get free healthcare, free dentistry, and you know what? None of them have gone to school. None of them had teeth, and they're all in terrible health.
Wow.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also at least with Canada, and I don't know the situation with like your aunt and uncle. Do you call them that or like?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know that situation, but in Canada, I think it handicaps them.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's their fault either. I really don't. I think it's more so I think it's the Canadian government's fault. Screw that Justin Trudeau guy.
Yeah, screw that guy, bro.
Oh, did you hear about the big charity scandal he had?
Yeah, I did. I heard about that. Oh my gosh.
I didn't hear about that.
So during COVID, they did like his family made like a COVID relief fund or something.
Oh no.
And it was supposed to be like this charity to help out COVID people. So anyway, the nation of Canada donates a bunch of money to this charity to help out.
Yeah.
And then they do some research into this charity, look into it. And the only two people, like where the money from the charity's going is to his mom and sister.
What?
Yeah. So they had to give like a couple $100,000. I think they
as if the Trudeaus aren't like already well off. Like when there's like the non-essential travel thing, and he's flying out to Vancouver Island to go like surfing. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think it really does handicap them. Like you'll hear stories about like they're just drinking themselves to death and they're sleeping with their siblings and they're like doing all this stuff, right? And it's like I just think that they were born into the most horrible conditions possible. Actually, like I actually see them as victims because but it wasn't their past, their ancestors that made them victims. It's the government giving free handouts to the point where they're like literally handicapped, like where they can't do anything.
Just as much their fault though, because they could change that so easy. Like think about it.
Yeah.
How like if you had like a good mindset, weren't acting like a victim.
Yeah.
How well would you be set if you're making like enough money you don't even have to work just from the government?
Yeah.
You got all this free stuff, free school, and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make something in my life. I'm gonna leave the res, use this college education, to like go get a good high paying job. And move somewhere where I could actually do something good with my life.
For them, though, like comfort is a drug, man. It really is, you know. And if you get born into that, like I think the chances of you making out is hard. And I don't think that's because of, like, I don't say that with most situations. Like I don't say that with like it's like your family's been poor for a bunch of years, like you're always gonna be poor, all that stuff. But like with them, it's like all the alcoholism that goes on. Like, and I agree with you. I don't like. Like, I think they can make it out. I do think they're put in a tough situation. Like, I think that the laws that are set to give them money every month are so wrong because I think that it's hurting them. Like,
100%.
And I'm not saying they couldn't make it out because I'm totally with you. I think they could. I think it's absolutely hurting them.
Oh yeah,
though.
I agree.
I think it's almost like a kind of spoiled kid situation. Like if you had a kid and like never made him work, never made him do anything, just paid for everything for him. Like they're going to grow up and be a bum, right?
Yeah, and it's even worse because at least the parents in that situation are stable, but you're not getting daddy's money, you're getting government money.
Well, it's kind of interesting too. Like, for example, my aunt, she's the one that she's the one that passed away. Basically, drank herself to death. Mm-hmm. But like she was doing well. Like she met a guy. Like I still would consider him an uncle, but they got divorced for various reasons. I think
you still would or wouldn't.
He's a Mexican brother. Oh, he's Joe. His name's Joey.
We love those guys. We
Dude,
really do.
But like, what I'm trying to say is like he's one of the coolest, like one of the best men I've ever met in my life. Right? Obviously, he didn't work out with my aunt. Yeah. But like my cousins that came from that relationship, right, that marriage, they're doing pretty well, right? Yeah. But they were raised by my uncle Joey. So it's like kind of interesting to see, like, yeah, they're doing pretty well. Like,
it's awesome.
But it's like, I feel like they definitely got out of that. They don't live out there in the basement anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of do think it's a sickness out there.
For sure.
It really is a sickness.
It's like the saying, like, the people you surround yourself or who you're gonna become. So if you surround yourself with that culture.
You're the product of the 5 people you spend.
Like, of course you're gonna be like that. If you surround yourself with super, like, successful, well-off people, like, you're probably going to tend to lean that way.
Totally.
Be a successful person.
All this reminds me of, I agree with you completely. All this reminds me of my good friend Alex Foster, and he used to get like these government checks every month when we were in high school because of a couple different things. But I'd always make fun of him. I'd always tease him. I'd be like, did you get your payday from Governor Herb yet?
That's funny.
We'd say that to him all the time. That's like your Governor Herb money.
Oh my god.
We give him so much crap, and it didn't really bother him, but we're giving him crap. But I was just dying. I was like, your Governor Herb money, and you got this full ride football scholarship. And no, Alex is one of the best guys I know. I love that guy. He's getting married.
I saw that.
Yeah, his fiance's 6'3".
Yeah, that's nuts.
And he's 6'5", 6'6", like D1 football player.
Right.
Those are gonna be some insane
monsters.
Babies.
Absolute
insane children.
Yeah.
He always was all about, like, I'll only date a girl if she's tall. Always. The whole time I've known him, he said that, which I've never got that. I've never been about tall girls as much. But I've also never been about thinking about my children, like, before I think about who I'm going to marry.
Yeah, I've never been that way.
Like, like with their height or whatever.
Yeah.
I had a friend, and I won't, like, name names, but everyone here knows him and knows, like, his family. But his parents or his dad will, like, legit hates, like, his sister-in-law because she's short. Because she didn't go on a mission. Yeah, really? Those two reasons. Still, they've been married for like 3 years.
What the frick?
I don't know. I don't think hates the word.
Hate's a strong word.
He didn't say hate. He said, like, still kind of doesn't like her though because of that. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that is kind of nuts.
But I'm not going to go too much more into this because the person's probably going to listen to this podcast.
I know
they're an awesome family. They're an awesome family. They really are. I just think it's kind of a weird thing. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
They just want those D1 babies.
Those D1
babies. Which, fair enough.
It's not going to matter. Jesus is going to be back by then, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, like, when do you think Jesus is coming back, though?
I think
pretty soon.
7 years from now.
7 years from now. I hear a lot of different things. I hear some people feel so strongly that it won't happen in our lifetime, and some people, like, don't want it to, and some people feel so strongly that it will and really want it to.
I think everyone that feels like it's not going to happen is because they're scared.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason too. I don't know, really. I don't know, but I think, like, I really would want it to.
Yeah.
That would be such to be a part of, like, one of the, like, most, like, special moments in the history of the world, like one of, like, the two, like, crowning moments of the world, right? Like, I would love to be there for that.
No, I do. I'd love to be there. I think it'll be sooner than later because for one big reason. Artificial intelligence is, like, going, like, it's making, like, advancements, like, leaps and bounds, right?
That kind of scares me,
right? And I don't think God will allow an artificial intelligence be better or, like, more capable or more, I guess, than his own creations.
Yeah.
So I think he'll say, "All right, boys, we good here."
Yeah.
Before that happens.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a good reason too. I could definitely see that. Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds me, my cousin, not too long ago, a couple months ago, told me he thinks that Elon Musk is the Antichrist.
Really, I've heard that before too.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
My cousin, he runs a successful flat Earth podcast.
Who is it?
My cousin Caleb. I don't think you've met him.
I've never met
Like,
Caleb.
he, like, legit thinks the Earth is flat?
Yeah, and he has...
Is he Dole?
What?
Is he Dole?
Is he a mental?
Can we get him on the podcast?
You should get him on the podcast.
Will you set that up?
I'd set it up. So, he... Oh, let me find it.
We're getting one of your other cousins on the podcast, by the way.
Who is it?
Cooper Robinson.
Oh, dude, you should have me on for that one. Or at least I want to watch.
Okay, yeah, we can have you over.
So, look at this. Look at how many followers he's got.
Oh.
Dude.
32,000 followers.
Jeez. And this is, like... Does he, like, genuinely believe the Earth is flat?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he 100%
He really does.
He 100% believes it. Yeah. He's a smart guy too. He likes the conspiracy theories. A lot of my family likes the conspiracy theories.
Dude, I kind of want to have him on.
Dude, let's get him on.
Yeah,
Where does he live?
Around here, Pacing.
Really? Oh, dude, let's get him on. Him on. That'd be so sick.
Yeah. So he.
Because I don't understand. I'd love for him to try to explain it to me.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I'm not there with all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But I think that you'd like hear about it and be like the theory at least makes more sense than. I don't think you guys are gonna be convinced. I really don't. Like, I don't think most people are gonna be convinced, and I don't really know that much. But I know there's a lot more to the theories that he has than like you would think. Just
Really?
like right off.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
And he has a podcast too.
I'll have to listen to it.
That like I think he actually makes like not like anything crazy, but like pretty good money. Like because people pay to listen to the podcast. Like it's like one of those subscription.
Oh, really?
Ones,
Like
yeah.
on Patreon or something?
Yeah, and he's got like a following. Obviously, 32,000 followers on Instagram,
Yeah,
a couple 100,000 on TikTok or whatever.
That's awesome.
I think he's one of the big names in like that.
The flat earther world?
That arena.
I think they're called flat earthers.
Yeah, they are definitely
Yeah.
called flat earthers.
Wasn't Kyrie
And
Irving?
Kyrie Irving was one of them.
Of course he was.
And
Did you ever see that Logan Paul documentary he made about flat earthers?
No.
It's actually pretty hilarious. Like, I don't really like Logan Paul. I think he's kind of a jackass, but...
I liked Logan Paul I never liked him, and then I liked him for a second, and he started talking crap on Christians, and I was like, I don't know if I really like him.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. I think everyone started to like him more until he did that.
Yeah, I was really starting to gain a lot more respect.
I've never been him and Jake
Yeah, that's
Paul.
true. He's
I've
never
always
liked
hated
I don't really like Jake Paul, and I kind of liked Logan Paul, though. I thought he was a good marketer.
Right,
I
I
thought he
so
was good with business. But then the stuff with Andrew Tate, and I'm not like a huge like Andrew Tate guy either, but
Right.
I don't dislike Andrew Tate
Right.
at all. I was just like, but I'm definitely anti-censorship. I don't like
Yeah.
censorship at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
there's
so
that.
yeah, but if you want, it's actually he made like a few years ago, he made a flat Earth documentary. It's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
So it's basically he goes in like as a like he's kind of just new to this whole. He heard about the flat Earth thing and he's like new to it. He's super like novice in this world
Yeah.
of flat earther, and he shows his journey of becoming a flat earther. He goes to these like flat Earth conventions. Like this is legit.
Of course. Yeah.
Like meets like the I don't know if you want to call it the CEO of the flat earther
yeah.
community, and like befriends him, and then basically like goes on stage in front of all this flat earthers by the flat Earth convention. He's like, I'm coming out of the flat Earth closet. I'm a flat earther. The world is. I believe the world is flat.
I love
and
that.
everyone's like, yeah, because like Logan Paul is a big name, you know.
Oh, huge.
Logan Paul's a flat earther. Everyone's
Huge.
like super pumped about it, and then he did.
And everyone thought it was real.
Yeah, they thought he was being legit. And then he comes out and is like, does some kind of, like, he like does like these weird, stupidest experiments. It's pretty funny. And then he's like, yeah, that's bullshit. and everyone hated him. I'm actually probably going to watch it tonight. Oh, that's pretty funny.
We'll stick around here and watch it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love stuff like that.
I do too.
I
love mockumentaries. I think they're so funny.
It's hilarious. Wait, okay, on to the next thing. I wanted to ask you guys' opinion
yeah.
on this. I didn't have like this like pre-planned, but I just thought of it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do we think that Andrew Tate actually trafficked humans, or do we not? At this point of the game, I don't really either. That's my take.
I just barely. So just a couple days ago, I was listening to this. Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Had Andrew Tate's like lawyer or something on there, and she was talking about it because it's already been like 60 something days.
And his lawyer was a woman.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So.
Look at that.
Okay.
I cannot believe his lawyer's a woman. Anyway. I cannot
go on.
Anyway.
But anyway, I guess she was saying this investigation started last April, and Romania's kind of been trying to grab him since then. And they finally, I think it was just right before Christmas or New Year's or something. They actually like.
They were just like looking for something.
Yeah, they're looking. So they've been investigating it since April, and in Romania, since they're just like a scummy country anyway, they can arrest you without any evidence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they don't need any evidence, and they can just hold you there.
Yeah.
But anyway, their file's empty. Like they haven't found one piece of evidence.
So that's like real. Like,
yeah.
I saw the video of them like yelling that. I didn't know if it was real.
Yeah, so they have zero evidence, and they haven't been charged with anything. So like in the U.S., like if like something like that, like they charge you with that, and then they go find like evidence and stuff and like prove it, right? And then they throw you in prison if they could prove it, but they haven't even been charged with that yet.
Really?
And they have no evidence. They're just kind of holding them while they're looking for evidence.
That's insane.
So
I think I've always thought it was kind of weird how out on America he is.
Yeah.
That's one thing
that
confused me about him. But that's interesting.
He loves Trump, though.
Yeah, he loves Trump.
Yeah.
We all love Trump, don't we?
Good old Trump.
Yeah,
I like
Trump,
that guy.
good old
I
Trump.
posted a video of Donald Trump on my Instagram today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
he was talking about like alcoholism and why it was bad, like why, and I just reposted it. I don't know. I'm not really pro alcohol necessarily. Like, like drinking it. Like I don't think it should be illegal or anything.
No.
But I'm
You
not
don't,
really,
you don't drink.
I'm
You
not
don't
really. I'm not really a big like drinker.
You don't advocate for beer.
I don't advocate for it necessarily. And
Alcohol.
he was talking about why it was like bad, and I agree. And also, I think that sometimes people who drink are gross. Like they smell gross when they're drinking a lot and that type of stuff. So it's just like, yeah. But
Well, look, boys, I gotta get going here soon.
okay.
Is there any last words any of you want to say?
There's something I wanted to say actually.
Please say it.
Whenever I've watched one of the video podcasts,
Yeah.
I want you guys to know like what one of my first thoughts have been.
Please.
I was like, Creighton has a great beard.
Aw, thanks.
Like better than most people that have beards.
Really?
I thought that. I was like, I don't know, Cooper. What do you think of Creighton's beard?
I think that's a good beard.
I'm flattered, guys.
Most people I don't think like look way better when they have a beard. I'm not saying like they look worse, but
Right.
I was like, Creighton looks better.
I look better with a beard.
Oh, for sure.
It's true.
Like it's a good beard. That's
Thank you,
one.
man.
That's one thing
Wow,
I thought
holy
about.
cow. I did not think we'd end it like that. I feel so good. Man. Thank you.
But do you guys have anything else then?
No, I don't have anything.
Thanks for coming on, man. This has been an awesome podcast.
Of course.
I've been genuinely shocked. It's the second time I've been genuinely shocked with you. Just kidding. No, but this has been great. I think you're an awesome conversationalist.
Oh yeah.
I love how you are just extremely intelligent in things that I would not expect you to be extremely intelligent in.
Oh yeah.
So like
I appreciate that.
you shock me a lot, and I think you've got that factor. So good on you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alrighty. See you later, guys.